Alright, hi guys. So we will have a quiz on Wednesday. I'm sorry, not Wednesday. Thursday for even classes and Friday for odd classes. So we're going to do our quiz review. And we've done a lot in class, so this is the last little piece. And good luck on your quiz, babies. So here, it says given the preimage, translate it, and give the mapping. So first, I'm going to go ahead and graph my preimage. So here, we get 2, 0, that's A, 4, 0, that's B, and 2, -2, that is C. Alrighty. So I am going to write my own mapping for this, which is what you should do too. And I'll say, what do I want this to do? I want it to go down 2 and then to the right by 3. So I'm going to do some math, and I'm going to do it up here where I have space there. So I'm going to say A prime would be, the x was 2, so I'm going to say 2 minus 2. Did I say down 2? I meant to the left 2, babies. And then 0 plus 3. So A prime would be 0, 3. And then B prime, we would say 4, -2, comma, 0 plus 3. B prime would be 2, 3. And then C prime, here would be 2, -2, comma, -2 plus 3. C prime would be 0 and 1. And if you're struggling with the math part, just use a calculator, babies. And there's one you can go to decimals on your PDF, or use the decimals one on your PDF, and you'll be okay with getting these points right here. So I am going to go ahead and graph my mapping so I can get my primes on here. So I get 0 and 3, so 0 and then down 3, 1, 2, 3. That's A prime. And then the next one is 2. And then down 3. Something is wrong with my math. Let me go see what's going on out here in these streets. So yeah, I'm right. Back 2. So that means this one's wrong. Guess what I did wrong? I was supposed to start at 0 on the y-axis. And I'm going to tell you guys in a minute how I knew that wasn't correct. So here, I was supposed to go here and down 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to tell you how I knew in a second. So that's my A prime. And then my B would be 2 and 3. That would be my B prime. And then my C prime would be 0 and 1. I got a mistake there too. What's -2 plus 3? The -2 plus 2 is 0. So this should have went to the left 2 and up 3. 1, 2, 3. My point right, but my graphic wrong. Okay? And something is still wrong. And let me make sure I grab. Oh yeah, I know what's wrong, guys. And I'm going to leave this because I want you to see how some of you make these same mistakes. So what I did wrong here is I went down 3 instead of up 3. And some of you make those same mistakes as well. And it's okay. Just erase it. And I'm going to tell you how I knew. This is a translation. And I knew I needed to slide all the points back 2 and then slide them all up 3. So I knew that. So I knew something was wrong. And I was able to figure it out because I understood what I understand what a translation is. And some of you guys make that mistake as well. So make sure you can check yourself. As long as you understand this mapping, you should know sliding over and then up 3. Okay, so this should have been 1, 2, 3. That's A prime. And then down here, it should be 2, and then up 3. That's how you know, babies. Very, very easy to check behind yourself, because some of you make those types of mistakes as well, and it's perfectly fine. You're human. Make mistakes, just fix them. Okay? And we got this right here going on. Oh, right, and I still got a problem, babies, because I went up too many. 1, 2, I was supposed to be right here. Alright, let me fix it. And guess how I knew then? Oh, I'm going to put that back. Look, babies, guess how I knew that was wrong? I knew it was wrong because these shapes should look just alike, and that makes them rigid transformations. And I noticed my shapes don't look the same, so I knew I was in the wrong spot. So I had to check it over again. So these are all types of ways you can self-check. If your figure starts changing shapes, then you should know something is not right. So I'm supposed to be right here on 3. This is B prime, and this is A prime. Okay? And you're done. So there is some deeper information you need to know, and here's that information. I am going to draw a red segment from A to A prime, C to C prime, and B to B prime. And I'm going to write the wording form of what just happened there. So when you have a translation, which means to slide, here's what happens. The segments created from the pre-image to the image are always perpendicular. I'm sorry, not perpendicular, but parallel. So here's the mathematical form of that. So you're going to say A prime, segment A prime, and then segment B prime, and segment C prime. They're going to always be parallel to each other. And if you get more vertices, then you're going to have more segments to list. But here is the symbolic form of this word form right here. Okay, the segments created from the pre-image to the image are always parallel. And you have to make sure you match up the corresponding vertices. Okay? The corresponding vertices are the ones that go together. So A prime goes with A, B prime goes with B, and C prime goes with C. Okay? Let's move on to the next one. Right? Alrighty, so now I have this pre-image and it says reflected over a line of reflection. Now there are some rules for lines of reflection, and I'm going to go ahead and write them out for you, and you should memorize these rules. If I have this to happen, this is a reflection, and I'm going to write shorthand, babies. Reflection over the x-axis. Here, if I have this to happen, that's a reflection over the y-axis. If I have this to happen, this is a reflection over y equals x. And if I have this to happen, where I switch both y and x, and I take the opposite of both points, then this is a reflection over y equals negative x. Okay? Now, those are particular rules, but sometimes we get in situations where we don't have a particular rule and we can't apply these. So I'm going to show you a situation like that. So we're going to do y equals negative 3 is the line of reflection, and that's the one I'm going to choose to reflect over. So let me go get my pre-image in here. So this is 2, 0, A, B, ooh, that might be a bad color, babies, C. Alright, and I'm going to go put my line of reflection on this thing. It tells me to go to y equals negative 3, so 1, 2, 3, there's negative 3, and I'm going to draw a horizontal line through that. I'm going to draw a horizontal line through y equals negative 3. And here I'm going to just count. So I have no rules. So if they don't give me one of these particular rules, we know we're going to have to count. So here for C, I'm one spot from the line of reflection. So I'm going to go one spot below it, and that's going to be my C prime. Okay, and I'm going to erase this right here so I can keep it in. Alright, and then here I have 1, 2, 3. A is 3 spots from the line of reflection, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So that would be my A prime. Okay. And then over here, I am 1, 2, 3 from the line of reflection for B. And so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and there's my B prime. And we're going to go through here, connect the dots. Alright, there we go. And I know I'm right because if I could fold across this line here, C would touch C prime, A would touch A prime, and B would touch B prime. And I also know I'm right because the distance on this side is 3 to get from the line of reflection to A, and it's going to be the same thing for A prime. I have to go 1, 2, 3 spaces to get to the line of reflection from A prime, and you can count for all of them. So that's how you know you're right with the reflection. And as long as the shape doesn't change, you know it's still a rigid transformation and that it is a reflection. Alright, so there is something important you do need to know about the reflections, and I'm going to draw this in here for you, babies. Let's see, I'm going to put this one in on burgundy. So there's a segment, well that's brown. There's a segment A prime, B to B prime. There's another brown line, A to A prime, and then right here, C to C prime. They're on top of each other, so you're not going to see that one as easily. But there is a relationship between A and A prime, and this time the relationship is with the line of reflection. So I'm going to just call my line of reflection EF. I'm going to put some dots on here so I can name that line. Alrighty. So what you would say, I'm going to write it in words first. The segment created from the pre-image to the image will always be and I'm right shorthand, perpendicular to the line of reflection. And I wrote that shorthand too. So that's the word version of this relationship, those brown lines with the blue line. And here's the mathematical way to write it. The symbols. B prime is going to be perpendicular to the line of reflection is that blue line. So line EF. So line segment B prime is perpendicular to line EF. Line segment A to A prime is going to be perpendicular also to line EF. And line segment C prime is going to be perpendicular to line EF. And that's going to always happen no matter if you use the rules or if you choose to go over a particular vertical or horizontal line. Okay, let's go ahead and do the last one, which is a rotation. So we've talked extensively in class about these rules of rotation because we needed to practice on them. So what I'm going to do is go over one more time on the rules of rotation. And I'm going to draw the grid form of it because I feel like that is the easiest way since we're working on the coordinate plane. However, if you want to do the chart version that I gave of it too, you can go and look at that one. It's in your book creator as well. Okay. So right here, you always get 360 and 0. Here is 90, and we're going clockwise first. And that means to turn to the right. This is 180, and this is 270. Okay, so the mapping is X, Y, and I want to give credit to Miss Lambert because I didn't come up with this. She actually came up with it, but I'm showing you guys because I think it is very, very helpful. So Miss Lambert actually came up with how to do this, or how to memorize it anyway. So right here, all you need to do is switch both X and Y. Switch X and Y, and take the opposite of whatever the X value was. Once you memorize these two, you don't need to worry about trying to memorize the rest of them because you got a hint. Right here is XY. So all you have to do is write XY down again for 180. The only difference is you need to take the opposite of both signs. When you get here to 270, you don't have to memorize anything. Just look over here and write that down. And all you need to do is put the opposite sign on the Y. So if you get these two down pat, you're going to get the other two right. Okay, now let's go. What happens when we go counterclockwise? So counter means we are going to turn to the left. Counterclockwise. We're going to turn to the left. So here, 90 goes here instead. 180 goes here, and 270 goes here. So all you have to do is memorize this, and this doesn't change. So here, switch X and Y, and then just take the opposite of the X and memorize it from up here. So I'm going to look up here. I'm going to write down that X comma Y, but I'm going to stick my negative signs on there. Over here, I'm going to look here. I'm going to write what I see. And then I'm going to just put the opposite on the Y. And there you go. So there's something I want to bring to your attention. 90 degrees clockwise is the same as 270 degrees counterclockwise. 270 degrees clockwise is the same as 90 degrees counterclockwise. So if you get good and you can put them on a grid together, that's fine. But if you need to do them separately, that works too. Both will get you the correct answer. Just make sure you get these rules written down, and then you can figure out the answer to any question that you're given. Okay, so it says rotate your figure 270 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. So in order to perform a rotation, we need a degree, we need a direction, and we need a point that we're going to rotate about. We need a degree a direction, and a point that we're going to rotate about. Our degree is 270 degrees. Our direction is counterclockwise, and our point that we're going to turn around is the origin. Okay, so let's go get our pre-image, and we're going to do what this thing said. So this is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, that's my pre-image. Now this thing told me to go 270 degrees counterclockwise. So it's telling me to take my pre-image and I'm going to go look at my rules. I need to look at my counterclockwise rule, and 270 is right here. So the rule says switch X and Y and take the opposite of the X. So I need to switch X and Y and then take the opposite of whatever the X was. So that means A prime is going to become, this is X and this is Y, so I got to switch them, so we get 0 and 2, but I was supposed to take the opposite of the X, so that becomes a negative 2. B prime, let's go here, switch X and Y, so 0 and 4, but I was supposed to take the opposite of whatever the X was, so I'm going to make that negative 4. C prime, switch X and Y, alright, so that becomes negative 2, 2, but I was supposed to take the opposite of whatever the X was, and that's negative. Okay? So here, I'm going to go graph this in purple, babies. So I get X is 0, negative 2, so that's my A prime. X is 0, negative 4, there's my B prime, and then X is negative 2, negative 2, and then down 2, there's my C prime. Alright, and here we go. And I did a rotation counterclockwise 270 degrees. So there is something special about this that you guys need to know as well. And I'm going to put it in light blue. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a little arc right here. I'm going to make a little arc to here. And my point of rotation was right here. And then I'm going to make a little arc right here. So what you notice here is the path created from the pre-image to the image is going to be a circle. The path created from the pre-image to the image is going to create not a circle, it's actually not a whole circle, it's going to create an arc, and the arc is a piece of the circle. And if I finish those dotted lines, those dotted paths off, then you would see a complete circle. But here, we're going to write that the path created from the pre-image to the image is an arc. Okay, so that's going to be an arc there. And if you finish it up, it's a whole circle. But we're only doing part of it. So part of a circle is called an arc. And I'm not going to show you the symbol for that yet because we haven't gotten to that notation yet. So when we get to circles, I'll show you that notation. So just worry about the word form for right now. Let's only learn that part. Alright, so there's another slide for you to try. I honestly hope you try this out so you'll be ready for your quiz. And if you need help, I'll be on Wednesday at 2:45 on Zoom. And I'll be there until 3:15. Now listen, babies, if nobody comes within the first 10 minutes, I'm logging off. So make sure you are on there, or at least send me a message and tell me you're coming so that I know to wait on you. I'll see you guys next time, and good luck on your quiz, babies. Bye.